Hey guys, it's Jason Desmond, and this is the Jantan Collective. We are all about helping our fellow men be better versions of themselves. Now, times are tough to say the least, and you may have a full-time day job, but it's always important to have, a second income, a side hustle, if you will, or as what Donald Trump might call it, a kung flu hustle. It might be for you to make ends meet, maybe get your avocado toast. Everybody has a different deal, right? But what's up with that? To have a discussion about this, because she's all about hustling, we have the incomparable, the irrepressible, the incredible Joanne Kam.
Hey!
How are you?
I'm good, and I love all the 3 eyes that you have given to my title before my name.
Because I think Steve Jobs would be very proud of me, because he might be the next great invention. I something, right? So, how are you?
I'm good. It's a little bit hot this afternoon, but
No,
otherwise...
it got hot only because you got into our studio.
I know. I had to walk across to come here.
Yeah.
That's a lot of effort for me.
How's things been actually? Because it's COVID. It's our MCO. It's not relaxed MCO. What's it called? Recovery MCO. Things are starting to get back into some semblance of normalcy already. Is work back to some kind of normalcy as well?
Actually, yes. In the last 2 weeks, it's picked up tremendously. And what's nice, I think whatever that we have set aside during MCO, like during MCO, everybody was doing Facebook Live. We were out
Did
there.
you do it?
Of course I did. What do you call this? We did this show called the Chart Fun Show.
All right.
I think we are the only show that had 3 diverse genders in the show, and we talk about things that other comedians or other MCs would not talk about, but of course not disclaiming your Jantan show.
What do you mean diverse gender?
Okay, well, you have me, who's like almost everything. I'm like a trisexual, like I'll sleep with anything.
Okay.
No, it's part of my joke. But we also have Bibi Capo, which is a drag queen. So she's a drag queen. And then we have Stephen Bones Everything. He's
Right.
the voice that does all the parody from Mama King to Mulan to whatever. But he comes across as the most vanilla of the group.
Right.
And of course, if you combine my experience and BB's experience, we have a whole world of different experience that he has had. So, like, we interview a lot of different influencers and, of course, talent, but we also interviewed Miss Transsexual International, which is one of my divas. So she won that title in Australia a couple of years ago. And he was allowed to ask all the questions that he's been wanting to ask to a trans woman. You know?
Right.
It's not like, okay, let's say, for example, if you are curious and if RuPaul is there, you can't go up to her, hey RuPaul.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, why do you decide to have that chop? You
Yeah.
know? I mean, like why can't you just dress as maybe RuPaul is not the best because RuPaul still has his attachment attached,
Okay.
you know? But what Stephen wanted to know, like, what make a man so disturbed or so unfulfilled, in order to be the real person that he's always wanted to be, that you would go for that op.
Right.
And that's something which no one has talked about. So for that show alone, we had, in fact, a lot of viewers, and then comments from even Sean Ghazi and all that later on, because it's not something that you could possibly bring to an Astro radio station.
I wonder why you brought that up. But yes. So what else have you been doing? I mean, that one wasn't to make money.
No, that one wasn't to make money.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how you've been, like, making money.
Okay.
Because you have no shows, right?
Yep. For the last 3 months, there was no show, and then I decided to cook roast pork. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was gonna be that. What do you call this? How would I say that it was gonna blow up so big? I mean, I knew that the food thing wasn't going to be a substitute. If anything, it'll be an add-on, right? But you couldn't do shows. The FB lives were not making money, So I decided to, because I'm actually a very good cook, but I don't cook every time. I cook like during Christmas, Chinese New Year, and all. And my roast pork has been a crowd favorite. I mean, for the longest time. And I found this new recipe to make the skin even crispier. So I decided, okay, let's just try out for a week. And I knew I wanted to just do Saturday, Sundays, because if not, Monday to Friday, you literally have no life. You're in the kitchen and just doing cooking. And the first week was sold out because my limit is 10 per week. I keep it very exclusive. And first week was sold out by, of course, friends supported. Then the friends shared. And then there were other friends who are friends and fans who maybe have not known me for the longest time. It could be someone like you, right? Like, okay, I want to support you. I'll buy 1 kg,
Yeah.
So, and then it went on. So this is the 4th week and it's still sold out. Because now Malay Meal has featured it. So when Malay Meal has featured it, someone shared it in the food group. I didn't even want to share it in the food group because I didn't want to handle volume, right?
Right.
But yeah, and then the Independent Singapore, also shared it. So I was like, okay, it's been 4 weeks, and I must say, it is, I wouldn't say easy, but it is, there's no nonsense. They want it, they pay for it, they buy it, 1 week you get this amount. It's not like, can we have your invoice? Oh, my company takes 2 weeks. My CEO isn't here to sign the check. It's cash.
Yeah.
It's cash. It's like
so it's making you good money though.
It's making me enough money for me to bring my daughter out for a nice lobsters and steak dinner.
Serious?
Yes.
So more money than all the shows.
Okay, I didn't want to say this, but my Come Online show was very successful.
Yeah.
That one we had about 60 people paying. But it was only 30 ringgit a head, and of course you have to give a certain percentage to the ticket. So when we calculated everything, then I told the other two, I said, hey, my roast pork 1 month like this. I get more money from my roast pork in a week. Sorry, not even in a month, in a week.
Less stressful, because we were talking about your show at one point. We were having lunch one time, and then you were saying like there's a lot going on, and then you're doing this show, and then you were very, very crazy busy.
You'll be surprised. I'm getting into that mode now. I'm going to be shooting an international TV series, season 2.
That has Western
influence. Yeah. So I won't be here from August to maybe November, and if it gets delayed, it will hit December. So so that's half of my year gone, which is great, But also right now, a lot of things are picking up.
Right.
I'm doing more. I'm doing more FB live shows for clients.
Okay.
Like the clients will get me to interview their product and all that, and it's a job. I've just finished a virtual online event, also a job.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that wants me to do like something with my roast pork, and
really?
Like an event where they serve my dish, and then I don't know.
Is it for a TV network or is it for
for an event for a special members club?
Okay.
So that one I think will hit end of this month or first week of August, and after that I'm ship off. If anything, I'll be back here December. But I'm already planning next year.
Everything else until the end of the year, you're good. You're super busy.
Yeah, I can't take anything on until after the shoot is done.
I ask only because of this. When people look at us, our lives and everything, it seems like it's a great life, and all we do is, like in my case, they think I go on and do a show, talk for 4 hours, I go home and sleep, right? They think that you do a show, you don't have to prepare, you're just funny naturally, you go on stage and then you do it. But you do live shows still. You've been doing FB live stuff.
Yes.
You've been doing all this virtual shows, virtual events. You're gonna be shooting season 2 of that international
TV series.
You do a lot of stuff.
Yes. Wait until you hear what I'm doing next year.
So you've even planned for that already?
I always plan a year ahead.
Yeah.
In fact, this year's plan I have to push to next year. But now next year, because this year has been pushed, so I need to ensure that certain quarters I hit my certain productions. But I also want to do more online TV stuff.
So the thing is, we like to call it the kung flu hustle because
it is hustling.
Yeah,
I've
it's
been hustling since 19.
right. Yeah, I think what people need to know is, especially if you do a 9 to 5,
Yeah.
and you know that you can do a 9 to 5, you can tell that from 6 o'clock onwards, basically to whatever time it is, you can do other stuff. But people
Yeah, correct.
don't, and they've been complaining. They've been saying a lot of stuff on online, on social media, like, oh, times are tough, COVID, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I get it. Some people are losing their jobs.
Correct.
I totally get it. But you gotta hustle, right?
Yeah, you okay. So take for example my roast pork thing, my siu yolk, right? I mean, I've never done any food to sell, all right? But it was my go-to because I was like, you know what? Let's not be thick-faced about it. This is something that you have, every time you bring for parties and it goes. It's like people, like my friend pay me to like cook for his dinner party,
Right.
and he's like, no, I want this. So I'm like, okay, let's try it out. There's no harm. If anything, my friends will support me, right?
Yeah.
So the first weekend, like I said, the first weekend were all friends. Everybody will support, and it's something which people are not going to give you money just like that, and you can't just sit down and complain. Oh, you cannot do anything. You cannot do anything. You got to hustle. You got to take. Okay, right now, live shows maybe for a while, because at that time the 250 packs for event haven't been announced, right? So you're also like, okay, is there ever going to be live shows in the next 6 months, or what's happening? So everybody migrate,
Yeah.
right? So people have, but of course as Malaysians we're a bit slow, so they migrated to online. So a lot of big companies and have actually studios now. They've created a studio in their building, green screen and all that within the last 1-2 months. So they're having virtual events, right? So even if it's virtual events, they still need to go on because they need like their awards night and all that. The only difference is that actually they save a bit more because you don't have to go into a hotel. You don't have to pay for food and alcohol.
Yeah.
So basically, it's online. You need to get what do you call this? Your videographers. You need to employ people who can migrate.
Yeah, it's a lot more work for you though. It's not like just going and do an event for like 4 hours and everything. It's a full-on production though.
Well, not for me, because when I go, they get me as a comedian or an MC.
Right.
So they have their own team.
Right.
They don't even call outside people, So some companies who are able to have a new department, a new digital, they call it digital department.
Right.
So they start employing people. Of course, companies that do not have enough team to have that digital segment will then get videographers, and if you see online, there are people offering their services for 2 to 3 camera work, to shoot an online event for clients.
Right.
So that's the next thing for us as performers. Well, one thing's good, you still need entertainment, whether you're going to have online, you're going to have offline, you still need, like, if the event is 4 hours, you don't want it to be boring, just put in like a comedian or a singer.
Right.
A comedian is easier because you don't have to get the band and everything.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's like 20 minutes of and online you don't need like 3 sets.
Yeah.
Like songs
The
or what,
music,
like music, band and all that. Just like one set, and then it's more productive. Like go. Whereas in actual events in hotel, it can run.
Yeah. How are you doing this? I mean, you have someone kind of being an agent for you.
No, they can all call me direct.
Yeah, but I mean, in the entire scale of everything that you're doing, how do you figure out what to do, who to talk to? How do you have that much? You don't have time on your hands.
Yes, you make time. If it's something important, you make time. Okay, I'll tell you something. For the longest time, I've been looking. In fact, the whole of last year, I was looking for a venue to do a pop-up show club.
Right.
I want to revive. It's like Boom Boom Room reunion show.
Really?
For only 1 month.
Okay.
I do not want to be stuck in a club for 1 year.
And owning a club, running a club. Yeah.
Do I?
Right.
1 month, every weekend, 4 weeks, a month. That's the show. And once the show finished, that's it. So
Right.
so and something like a Boom Boom reunion show is perfect because you're not targeting the ones that want to go clubbing to listen to DJ XYZ.
Right.
Because those are your kids. I mean, like, people like us, our age group, where do they go? Besides the cinema.
Shows,
If you like jazz, you go to... Okay,
Yeah,
now no black tie
I was
finish
about to say
already.
that, yeah.
No more already. Bobo.
Yeah.
Okay, but you see, not everybody wants to listen to one genre. So you go like, okay, so if there's a place with a show club that has that old boom boom feeling with some of the original, like the hosts and all that, but everyone else is new, and you get the new singers, the new influences to come in, I can guarantee that 4 week is going to sell like that. But there is no venue in KL that I could put it in. Every venue that I wanted to go in was, okay, the venue is there, but there's no sound and light. There's no stage. There is no curtains. It's like a bare venue I give you. I'm like, by the time you calculate everything, you know, I won't make. So for the
Not even KL Live.
Again, you have to bring in everything.
Right.
You have to, they give you bare, you know.
Yeah.
That means tables, chairs, everything. So for 1 year I've been looking for space, and a lot of places when I go in I feel the vibe and I know it's not right. But there was one particular place that I really wanted, which was central, and which was I know that my guests, my audience will come, not an issue, and I didn't want to do it in a theater because I wanted the feel of drinks and
Right.
like a normal, like a
Like
show
boom, boom,
club,
boom, right, yeah.
like a show club, right? And this lady, I've been trying to connect with her for about a year, but I don't know her direct. But now, through some miracle of the universe, I just sat down, talked to her, and we're set for next year. So I think with that also, I'm one of those, like, I always feel like I have a lot, but people don't know I can do so much. Like, a lot of people just think of me only as a comedian.
Correct, yeah. How do you look at yourself? I mean, do you look at yourself as a businesswoman first who needs to do multiple projects, and should that be how people approach their life right now? Because what are you? I'm a bank clerk, and you got no time for anything else. After that, I got to take care of my kids and everything, but that's not how you hustle nowadays, right?
Nah.
So when you look at yourself, what do you see? An entrepreneur or businesswoman or comedian who does a lot of stuff?
I see a creator. I'll be very honest with you. I'm not a business, like, I can't do the calculations and all that, but I know I can create good stuff, and that's why
That sells.
And it's proven because I've produced shows that sell. I've produced shows under other people's banner, but I was the part producer, writer, and basically create the whole production, how it goes and all that, direct as well as write. So in a lot of sense, I have all this multitudes of talent.
Yep.
But because the people who has worked with me know I can do a lot, but the general public, let's say someone like you think of me as like entertainer, perhaps an entrepreneur, and a like mother or single mom or something like that. So there's no how would I say, there is no image of me to be like instant cafe theater and all that. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But those who are in the industry know that all this different pocket of variety show has been helped by me.
Yeah. Because you can do it all.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what we do, what we can do in our industry, right? I mean, we are just kind of used to hustling, and I use that very loosely because I know a lot of people in our industry also who only do one thing.
Correct.
And then after that, when that thing kind of fails, then they're like, what do I do now?
Correct.
But we have the liberty and ability and also the freedom to pick and choose what we want to do because we know what time we finish one particular project. It's usually a project for 3 months or whatever it is, right? But what about someone who does a 9-to-5 job? How do they make extra money? Because right now times are tough, man.
Correct.
You know?
Well, honestly, if you check Facebook I think a lot of people who lost that 9 to 5 or even have that 9 to 5 segment stalled have gone in to do other things.
Right.
You know, some have gone into sew bags, sell their drawings. Food and drinks are the fastest way I think a person could go into.
Right.
Of course, you need to ensure that your food is good.
Yeah.
There was a list where all entertainers and events people were on it that have started selling food, and we are talking about people who own event companies.
Right.
You know, someone put it on the list, and then of course my name was there.
Okay.
And it had like singers, MCs, event company owners. I was like, wow, this guy's events is huge, you know.
And still he has to.
And still he's making cakes to
Yeah.
sell. Of course, gorgeous cakes.
Right.
You know, and I think always the first thing you must ask yourself is why not?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people put barriers on themselves first. It's like, why don't you try baking? Cannot lah, I'm not a baker, I cannot do this. Then what do you think? Why don't you try cooking something? My kitchen is so small.
Yeah.
You know, it's all just excuses. But if you need to survive, you need to survive.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen guys who all they do is Zumba instructors.
Right.
You know, because they have no online show, and even if they do online, a lot of people were giving yoga, Zumba, dance, online, fitness, all for free.
Yeah.
Right? In order that after the MCO, you know, they'll go back for classes. But they've also started selling other things. There's one guy that started selling like a tonic drink,
Right.
apparently good for manhood.
Really?
Yes.
You seem to know a lot about these things, man. We're gonna
No,
dig up
because
further.
I'm on Facebook.
Right,
These
right.
are all there. They're all my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a Zumba instructor.
Yeah.
And of course, COVID happened, and you know, so now and then the first week the bottles were all sold. Oh.
Do they sell only because of the novelty of it all? That this guy used to do this, now he's doing this, and then people start buying. But it's not like something continuous that they can do, is it? You think?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. If it's something continuous that you think you can commit your time to, why not? If you want to give a break, if let's say your other events job or your instructor jobs come in, then you slowly pull away. You know, it's like you can do like, okay, once a month I'm making 50 batches, you know, within this week, your
Right.
orders, and I'll make fresh.
Yeah.
You know?
I know a lot of people who are like, there's this, it's like a taboo, I suppose, or it's an image thing, and they could be lawyers or accountants and everything, and times get tough for everybody, right? And then they don't want to do, let's say, cooking, because what will people think of me?
Yeah,
Because,
a lot of times that, yes, then it's your face value.
Yeah.
You know, if that is, I'm not saying that food is the only thing. You can do other things.
Yeah.
You know, you can open up your company to shoot videos on food, so that, you know, people who like restaurant locals who don't know how to go online, you know, they can engage your company so that you can shoot nice videos of your food. That has happened. A lot of mom and pop, like hawker food, they don't know how to go online. So there are people. One thing which is nice is, you'll be amazed, people have started coming out to help people who don't know how to migrate to the digital platform.
Right.
You know, and I've been seeing it. It's
I,
like,
I think that's a big fear for a lot of, especially if you're slightly older.
Yes.
And you're not as savvy, you know, with
Correct.
Instagram and stuff like this.
so that's why there are some people like, okay, there's this guy who used to work in radio, well, our station anyway, and I think he was doing marketing in another company, but now what he does is he sells duck, and for not, he doesn't make them. He's like, he stays in Shah Alam, and there is a duck.
Okay, do I know this person?
I think maybe you do.
Okay.
And then he sells duck, and because it's, and then he tries and invent other things. He's like, he does duck varval now. Right? Because I say, how come this duck
Oh, no,
varval
I
came
know this
about?
person, yeah.
Then he says, because not everybody want to, you know, buy half of those duck. So this is an extra. But it's interesting because he's helping this other old couple,
Right.
you know, old lady who don't even know how to go to Facebook, but he's the one promoting their. So you see people coming together to help, and I think that's a beautiful culture. If anything, this pandemic has taught us to be human again.
Yeah.
You know.
Helping
So
it, yeah.
So if you can't cook, help those who can. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
And actually, speaking about this, like how you can help each other out, right? I remember there's this girl, Pavitra. I can't remember what she did, but she was from Ipoh. And then she started cooking, and then she started taking videos, and she had no idea how to take videos, how to edit, and everything. Next thing you know, she's like this YouTube star.
Are we talking about the one that has blown up?
Yes, yeah, it's explosively in Ipoh. Then the Prime Minister sent her like
So
equipment.
Sugu.
Yeah, Sugu Pavitra, right?
Yeah, Sugu.
So a lot of people think if I do this, but I don't know how to use the internet and I don't know how to promote myself and everything, isn't that more of an excuse? It's you can get people to help or teach you how to do stuff like this,
Yes, you can. All you need is a friend who can show you how to go online. And honestly, I will tell you, I'm not as hardworking as them. They put on videos every day.
Yeah.
You know, I put on videos once a week, and I'm being scolded by my social media friends like, no, three
Right.
a week, three.
But it helps, doesn't it? Social media.
It helps, but also, again, it's how you play with the algorithms, you know. So I've been lucky enough to get quite a bit of followers. So you just have to keep doing interesting things to get them to kind of like highlight you lah.
Yeah. Like this Sugu Pavitra, right? Her side hustle, which was the cooking, and then doing YouTube on the side once in a while, see whether people like it.
Work.
It worked, and then it became her main thing.
Correct.
Right, and then her husband quit the job and everything. In your case, would you ever just do the popo
Well,
crack?
if it gets that high,
You already said 1 week, right? 1 week,
correct.
right?
That's why I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
You're right. What do you call it? If it gets that much, like because she has gone like YouTube crazy, right?
Yeah.
I haven't put my thing on YouTube yet, but yeah, someone suggested that
After this is
the
gonna
way.
go on, man. You
Yeah.
know?
So if it goes, you know, there is always avenues for expansion. And if it's going to expand into, let's say, I'm saying it now. Let's say Popo's Crack become a stall, like to sell that on its own in perhaps like a supermarket or something, and if that expands into that, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
It's still extra income.
Like Tony did his hot dog thing for a while,
Yeah,
right?
and they're still doing it, but of course, going into fairs lah.
Yeah.
So for the 3 months, of course, they weren't going into fair because there is no fair.
Yeah, no fairs, yeah.
But now the fairs are coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's consistent to a point that there are some times that they run 3 fairs
Right.
at the same time. So it's just getting the people to like disseminate.
So it's a mindset thing for people. If you want to do this,
If you want to
hustle-
do it. I mean, like, of course, like, say, for example, like right now, I'm the one stopping and say 10 a week.
Yeah.
Any more than 10 or
There are
11.
requests for
There are
more.
requests, and I push them to next week.
Right.
Because for me, it's always nice to announce that it's sold out this week to get them excited, than
Right.
to do 25.
See, you think about stuff like this though.
course.
Not because you're a businesswoman, you're an entrepreneur, and you're everything's has something to do with theatrics.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you announce sold out this week,
Yeah.
but the sold out is just 10. But in people's minds, it's like, oh my God, it's so good, it's sold out. So I need to pre-book this for next week. But actually, I'm just doing 10.
Yeah.
But
But you just don't want to do anymore,
I
right?
just don't want to do more than 10.
Because it's tiring.
No, well, my oven is also small lah.
Right. Right. But I think one thing also is doing a lot, hustling. Doing a main job, whether it's a 9 to 5 or whether you want to do extra, whether you want to cook, whether you want to make, I don't know,
Sell scarves,
Yeah,
make bags.
it is tiring. Regardless,
Of course it is.
you work long hours, but the rewards are
Yes, you need to. I think you need to be honest with yourself. What's more important, your face value, or the fact that you can earn X amount
Yep.
on a weekly basis?
yeah. Don't have all these pipe dreams and say, oh, I'm just gonna blow up and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, you need to also be realistic. You know, sometimes okay, like I have a friend whose food is even more amazing than me, but her Instagram is not that huge, and also her plating is a little bit mechanical,
Right. But it tastes
very
good, though.
clinical.
Right.
But it's not like, wow, you look at the video, you look at the picture, and like, I want.
Right.
So we had this conversation with her, me and another acquaintance, because he was in the food industry as
Right.
well, and then they were all talking about my roast pork, and then I kind of give her advice. I say, look, you cannot do it like this, da, 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 da. And color is very important. But I guess this is only because I come from a background of show business.
Yes.
So in show business, we hype and we sell. We don't tell you what's, really there.
Yeah.
Of course, the main thing is the food. The core thing needs to be good. Like, I can sell myself as the best female comic in Malaysia, but if people come and my joke sucks,
Yeah.
that's not going
Correct.
to.
Yeah. That's over-promising.
Yes,
already, right?
over-promising. That title will not fit.
Right. Yeah.
So you need to ensure your product is good. So once your product is good, how do you manifest this into a brand that everyone knows? Like, even this Malaysian queen of comedy, it wasn't even me that gave it. It was one article.
Yeah.
An article, and I'm like,
And that's stuck though.
and it's stuck. I'm like, you know what? Bloody hell, let's just use this. And then it just grow and grow and grow and
Yeah.
grow. So from one article, all of a sudden it became like, okay, this is my title. Like, Harif has his Godfather of Comedy, then I have my Malaysian Queen of Comedy,
Right.
and Douglas is the Chinese guy.
Yeah. Just some generic Chinese dude.
No, but it's like that. People like to label things.
Yeah.
Everyone like to label things. So you be smart about labeling your stuff, lah.
Yeah. So put a little bit of theatrics. Think about how if whatever it is that you're doing is good already, but think about the marketing side, like the jargon, right? But think about how you're gonna sell even
Correct.
more. But no two ways about it. It is tiring.
It is tiring, of
And
course.
you need to kind of push yourself a bit more.
Well-
What motivates you though?
Money. Okay. Sorry. Wow. That come out so fast.
But it's the truth, right? At the end of the day,
So fast. Yes, I like money, but I don't like it enough to sell my soul.
Right.
But yeah.
no. But what do you think of people who always go like some? And I've interviewed so many artists and so many people who do like food and chefs or whatever. So why do you do this? It's because of the art, right? What do you think of people who say that? Because money is important,
Of course.
right?
I think when they say, well, you need to be true to your art, of course, but I think eventually it always comes down to money. If
Yeah.
your art can't sell money, what's the point?
Yeah. And this time has shown that how important money is as well. Because if you didn't have extra money,
How are you going to keep your passion alive?
yeah, that's another thing actually. Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna tell someone who does a 9 to 5, who is what's that term? The kais pagi makan pagi, that kind of like you live day to day, right?
You live day to day.
For people in the entertainment line, we kind of don't know when or where
Yes.
our next paycheck is coming from.
Because everything is up in the air. If you
Yeah.
get events, then you have your paycheck. It would be nice right now to be in a what do you call this, salary based work. I know some
I
entertainers.
thought it would be good though. I did
Yeah.
that for a while.
Yeah, but in times like that, that's good.
That's true.
Yeah, but how many places are employing creative directors who are entertainers? They
Yeah.
all want, oh, you need to be in ONG or whatever. And
I was a celebrity manager, remember?
Yeah,
at one point.
correct.
So I was like quite happy to have that job. But
that title,
right, that was quite interesting. But it was
celebrity manager. Okay.
only up to a certain point I was okay with that, right? But there's really no two ways about it. I needed the money.
if you really wanted to push for your passion, I know that would not be the job that you are taking,
Yeah.
because I think you, like me, have a lot of ideas and a lot of personal directions that
Yeah.
you're very proud of, so it can get to a point like, okay, if you don't listen to me and my way is not your way, we kind of feel like, because it takes a while to just sit back and like, okay, fine, you don't like my ideas, let's go with yours, even though I think yours is crap and it's not gonna make fun, but yeah, why not,
Yeah.
So it takes a lot to like just keep quiet and like okay, I'm just gonna
That's
be,
the corporate life.
be
Right.
happy with, let's
Yeah.
do this, and let's suck whoever that I'm supposed to suck just to ensure that I have a job.
Right.
Yeah.
But savings though.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing
And
that people don't
and
think
savings,
about.
but also you need to play the game. I mean, in bigger corporations, there will always be politics. Politics changes, and you need to see where you can abide to those politics. Honestly, even in radio, even when I was in radio, it was so political.
Yeah.
And we were all just radio announcers,
Yeah.
But I had to play my politics, I'm sure you had to do yours too.
20 years of doing this, there
Yeah.
has been a lot of look at knives all over my back,
Correct,
but you take it with a smile and everything.
you take it with a smile. When I was in Capital and Red as well, it was, the things that go on behind. I'm sure, if it comes out, it'll be a very interesting series.
But you're right, you play the game.
You play the game because that 2 years of that amount,
Yeah.
okay, is enough to set you back your EPF, and you're like, I can.
Yeah, you not only do you
Yeah.
pay the bills, and then you can go back to your passion and then say, I'm gonna muck around for another 2 years because I have this buffer, right?
Correct.
But a lot of people don't think that way though. I know for a fact a lot of 9 to 5ers is like, I have a job, it's great, it's gonna pay me for the rest of my life until I retire, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna have 12 kids.
Because that's their plan.
Yeah.
Because no, I don't want to say normal people, but 9 to 5, those who work the runt, they're not creative. I think that's the reason why we all stand out. People
Yeah.
who are performers, directors, script writers, they could easily take a 9 to 5 job,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of them finally do. I just met one of the clients who used to be in a boy band that which our era would.
Right, okay. Oh yeah, okay.
You get what I mean? One of those singers are like, oh, you're from that group?
Yeah.
But now you're in this bank.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's another that I met as well who was marketing director, but he used to be from a famous family, singing group family,
Right.
I think Solianos or whatever.
Right, yeah.
But he's that. So
Yeah.
so there are ways that, creative people can go, and even if they go, the only thing that perhaps you will give up is your need to be on stage. And
Yeah.
I think with performers, actors, and entertainers, when we're on stage, that's when we're alive.
Yeah.
Or when we are on the microphone
Yeah.
or what, that's when we're alive. So if you do take a 9 to 5 job, then that is what you have to give up.
Correct.
I tried. I was GM for eyebrow studio.
Really?
And I was, a couple of years ago, under Spa Esprit,
Right.
brow house. I opened it.
Right.
After about a year, after 6 months, it's kind of silly because I wanted to give up entertainment. I was like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
But the minute
It's time
I
to grow up,
signed,
you know, yeah.
time to grow up. Let's
Right.
get EPF.
Yeah.
Salary come in on the 26th every month. And plus I have other things which they allow me to have as well. But at that time, all of a sudden, 3 months into that job, everything started coming. My corporate. Then I had a client that wanted to book this whole production for December. I was like, and then,
What do you do?
Come in your face too.
All right.
But the one for one condom
All right.
for when they launch it. So they bought the whole show.
Right.
It's not like, let's get you for an event. It's like, I'm buy your whole
Whole
production
campaign, right? Yeah.
for 1 week show in a theater. Which is like, for producers, it's like, are you kidding me? Which means I don't have to worry about, ticketing.
Yeah.
Because they bought the whole show, but of
Right.
course the tickets go to them.
Yeah.
It's like how not to do.
Yeah.
And I think with performance it's always that. So it comes to a point where is it going to be that or is it going to be that? So it came to a
Chicken and egg is, right?
it came to a point whether this is going to be this or that. But I remember that time I was at my lowest low because I was so new to like doing beauty and all that. And when I was doing Spa Esprit, I remember every night I was crying because things were not happening. I couldn't get this done, that done. Not because of anything, but because of certain situations that were beyond
Right.
my capabilities, and that was it. After 6 months, I told they said, oh, it doesn't look like it's working, because they spot check
Right.
they spot check me, and they're like, hey, you're still doing shows,
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, never mind.
I thought you said they let you do shows.
They let me do shows, but after a while there were other things
Yeah.
that they needed to hit. My
Right.
targets need to be hit.
Right.
And I was working like 9 to 5 salon. Then after that, 5 o'clock, I rushed to like my job.
Right. Yeah.
So it was tiring.
I know how that feels.
Yeah,
because
it
I
was
remember
tiring.
doing a breakfast show on radio.
Yeah.
Then after that, I rushed over to do a production job with some of the guys I'm working right now here, and then after that, I had another thing to do as well. So I'm constantly tired, and then
Correct.
people go, "Why are you so tired?" I'm like,
It's like,
"Are you kidding me?"
Actually, when I was when I was in Capital in the morning show, I remember we still took jobs, corporate, but some of the corporates were in Penang and Ipoh. So I remember there was one night, so what happened was after finish 10 a.m., the van will come pick me up at 12, take all my girls. Of course, I have an assistant as well. We drive to Penang, did the show, then sleep. We didn't sleep overnight. The van would drive us back.
Sleep in the car.
Sleep in the car. I got in at 4. I bathed. I went out. I was in Capital by 5:30.
Right. Yeah. That's a hustle, man.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do. And then people ask, how come you can maintain your keep paying for your house and doing this and doing that? I'm not saying that this is how everybody should do it, but that's how some people do it, and maybe that might be how that you want to supplement your income and stuff. Because 9 to 5 is, I understand 9 to 5 sometimes it's you're waiting for bonus and everything.
Well, there are a big pool that is comfortable with 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everybody should go out and hustle. I mean, there's some people who are just, content.
Yeah. And also 9 to 5 is not easy. Sometimes I really respect
Correct.
9 to 5ers. They can take the kind of corporate bullshit sometimes,
They have to just take it in.
Yeah.
But you see, those are people who want to live contently, and there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But of course, there are others who would okay, I want to do something else. What can I do?
Yeah.
And I think if you're already thinking that way, then you look within yourself and say, okay, what is the next best thing that I'm good at, that I think I can sell to the public.
Right.
And it could be as easy as teaching people how to talk properly.
Yeah. That's the thing now,
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Well, like I'm teaching humor for presenters.
Yeah.
And I have friends who are like, hey, can I give you some of my friends? They're MC, but they they're not funny. In my mind was you can't teach someone to.
You can't teach funny.
You can't teach comedy.
Yeah.
But you can teach them how to inject a bit of humor into their presentation, which I did the last 2 weeks. So while I'm doing the roast pork,
Again, hustle, man.
every live, and doing the online paid 30 ringgit show, and did the comedy workshop. Actually, it was so funny because the comedy workshop for 2 weeks it was up there. No one bought in PTX, and I was like, okay lah, heng lah, I don't have to do. And then sekali 2% bought it, and I was like,
So what do you do when you just have two?
Actually, for comedy workshops, it's easier for smaller.
All right.
Because
okay.
it's a lot more practical
It's
work.
just one-to-one kind of. In a way, right?
Yeah, actually, it needs to be just more. I even for big groups, it gets very hard because it gets stretched because I need to go one by one because everybody's humor is different.
If you could give 1 or 2 final words on helping those who are kind of struggling right now, some are struggling to make ends meet.
Correct.
And then the whole point of getting here is because you do a lot of stuff, and I totally respect that. How can they kind of, and they do 9 to 5s and everything, how can they kind of use you as an example?
I think first thing first, you have to stop saying I can't do it. I think you need to come out and say, okay, I want to do this. I can't do it now, but maybe in the future I can do it. So when you say that, you're not stopping yourself from doing it. You're just telling yourself, okay, I really want to do this, but I can't do it now because too many things are in conflict with it. But let me put this aside. I will get to it maybe in 6 months' time. And also, don't second guess yourself. I think a lot of people do that. It's like, okay, like take my roast pork for example. I know my roast pork is good. I didn't know that it was going to sell out. I didn't know it was going to be picked up by Malay Mail. I didn't know it was going to be picked up by Independent Singapore. But I knew I needed to make money because we were 3 months into MCO. I wasn't earning from my Facebook Live. You know, my makeup is finishing. I can't even buy makeup from Sephora because it's too expensive. I can buy God Watson. You know what I mean? And I was like, I just need the bills are coming, you know. So I did this, and in my mind it wasn't even like, oh, I'm Joanne Kam. How can I tell people I'm not making any money during MCO because events are no longer there, you know, blah 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 blah. Because you have to be forward about it. You have to tell people, hey, you know, guess what? No events, so
Times are tough.
I'm not making money. I'm not getting a salary from Astro, you know. So what am I going to do? You know, this is the next best thing. And like I said, what this pandemic has done is people has become a little bit more humane. So people will help. So if you don't know how to do things or do the project that you want, ask for help. There will be friends in the community that knows how to do it. And you'll be surprised. People now are more willing to help someone else in need if you just ask. So I think the first important thing is don't second guess yourself. Don't worry about your reputation or your thick skin. If you're actually honest, there'll be more people willing to actually partake and help you on for the next step. And I think if you abide by these golden rules in whatever project, whether it's selling fish, selling tudong, selling bracelet, like some friends have started selling handbags with, you know, names on it, you know, and it's like it's work. It's like so cute, you know. So don't say no. You never say no.
Joanne Kam, this has been great. Please come back. We have lots to talk about again in your next, not 30 years, let's have a chat again in probably a year.
Yes.
Right?
Next year.
Thank you so much. And for you, remember, keep hustling. Joanne's absolutely right. Times are tough. We don't know how much longer this is going to go on for. Make second income, third income. Why not do whatever you can to make your ends meet or get your avocado toast if you want to. Now remember, if you have any issues that you want us to talk about, the email is right here, and we will get the best people to talk about it. We may argue about it, but we will have a very, very good discussion. Thanks for watching, and this is the Jantan Collective. I am Jason Desmond. Joanne Kam, thank you so much. Thank you so much to you.